This is your daily market review for Monday, February 5th, 2024.
Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well.
This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trade Ninja, and this is your daily market review for Monday, February 5th, 2024. Hopefully you're doing well. Not surprised by some of the pullbacks after the big rally on Friday. It's going to be volatile, guys, friends, pals, buddies. I keep warning people, please be careful. Again, if you have longs that are winning, roll up your stops. If it happens to be just one of the magnificent movers, yeah, just be careful. Today's action overall, again, I still think we're closer to the top than not. But again, if you look at the IWM, you look at the bond market, you look at some of the stuff within the market indexes, you're starting to see a lot of cracks in the armor. But they'll report on NVDA, talk about how strong the market is. But again, as we talked about, the economic data is falling off a cliff, y'all. Just please be careful. So let's review everything at this point. So if you have any questions, check out the Discord room, the link in the description below. If you have any real estate questions, I am your man. Use the Calendly link below. Let me see if I can help you. No matter where you are in the country or in the world, eXp agent worldwide have ability to help out with your real estate needs. So if you're new to the Discord room, again, link in the description below. Check out the YouTube channel, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, follow the website. About to get that update. Get your 5.5%. Please use the promo code. So many people, I'm like, what are you doing with your savings? And they're like, oh, I'm getting minimal amounts. It's like, use it. Also, be careful with interactive brokers. And if you're newer to trading, you have not read these 3 books, or at least have the Stock Traders Almanac, what are you doing? Again, follow on Twitter, posting all the trades and ideas that we see. Too bad letter X does not share with the Discord room anymore. It's rather frustrating. So also too, I have a lot of folks who have questions about the psychology of stuff. This is the guy. This is the guy to get your head right. So if you have any questions, again, please reach out. We know for a fact the Feds are stuck. Powell said it literally in his meeting. No rate cuts. Is the market going to like that? I don't know. In my opinion, they're stuck. They're absolutely stuck. And this is the hardest thing, right? Like the jobs numbers, they come in much weaker than they actually show on the surface. But the market has to price that in and has to play with that. It's just funny because, I mean, it's not funny. It's sad, honestly. It's just sad, honestly, how data gets manipulated. And you see the economic data, but you see the jobs data looks good. You see the GDP overinflated because of government spending. And it's like you go look at the actual real world, real estate, commercial real estate, people getting laid off. But, oh, they're adding part-time jobs. Okay, we'll see how it plays out. Again, I've warned this, I'll be on record again. The Feds have never navigated a soft landing where they've done this many rate cut hikes. It's just not possible. It's just not possible. So Bitcoin, as we've talked about, I don't trust any of this stuff until the Feds pivot. We talked about a blowout, talked about a 20% pullback. You got to get over 44,000. Oil all over the place, showing global demand destruction. Again, I think there's a huge short interest that's in play, but we also know we have to buy oil. Keep in mind, natural gas, I like the downside, I like gas down here because I don't think it has much downside. We talked about that. Just be careful. Pick and choose what I would say the best avenue for you. If you want to go long UNG, try to get as close as you can to 18 or 19. And if you have any questions, holler. The dollar acting well. We talked about China's an absolute mess. Europe's an absolute mess. Supposedly, this is where the strong point, and everyone's funneling in. Be careful. TLT coming right back down, which is interesting because, you know, in my opinion, I thought we'd break out, but then you have the head and shoulders. Now we're just chopping at the shoulder line. So you've got to hold this 93 area. Again, I'm not really watching the bonds other than just watching the volatility. The VIX just chopping around. Vixen been waking up. Again, those moves on Friday were not sustainable. VIVIX, I mean, you had some real acceleration. And then here you go, chopping around. SPY. Not surprised, little Doge inside day after that day. I mean, is this a trap? It really feels like it. But again, you don't know the trap until it closes. And so if you're trading, define your risk. I just beg and plead of you, no matter what, define your risk. QQQ, Doji after that retest, man, retesting the highs, not breaking them out. This is where it gets difficult, right? The IWM is showing a major amount of lagging, right? It's not even near the highs. IWM is what, to me, more of the economy than the SPY, because the SPY is only a few companies. The weighting is how crazy. It's not a few companies, obviously, it's 500 companies, but the weighting is incredibly weighted on the Magnificent Six, I guess now. NVDA chopping around, up, held up. I mean, I thought it'd be up better today with Caterpillar. And we'll talk about the cat meow. So here we go. Gold, I don't trust any of this stuff until it breaks out. What's the rush? What is the rush? Do yourself a favor, right? Be careful. SLV, chopping. I mean, it's tough to really trust this stuff when the gold and the miners just look like dog poo-poo. Look at this stuff. Chopping, flopping, making new lows. I mean, oh, yikes. Yikes. Sorry about that. So just be careful. I mean, look at junior miners leading. I don't know. I look at this and I try to like think about a way to like convince people just to leave it alone other than going back and look in the past. Just be careful. Please. AEM. Because again, I think you're in long term, you'll be fine. But near term, we've seen miners get absolutely wrecked when the market pulls back. Wrecked. And I'm talking about like wrecked them. AG, AM. I mean, AG's got earnings. Look at this. It's just not good. Let these play out. I mean, pray. This is where if you have patience like Newmont, these things just get just destroyed. And we've seen this happen before. Like you saw it with COVID, like, right? You saw it in the 2000s. I mean, I don't even need to go back. Just trust me. Go back and look at the past. When the VIX spikes, the market dumps, credit becomes an issue, banks are an issue. Miners aren't safe until the Feds pivot. Just keep that in mind. PAAS. Look at this. Whoa, wow, down another 4% today. Yeah, I was going to say, is this taking out new lows? Please be careful. Taiwan Semi gets a nice pop, I guess, since China didn't take over today. It's just a matter of if and when. Put out the alert, like watch the retest of the highs. Love it. Microdon. I mean, again, I think it's way easy to define your risk. MU, chopping. AM Dizzle. Look at this. Chop. NVIDIA. Look at this. Good Lord. Thought today might be a doji. It's going ludicrous speed. And this is where, again, I don't have any personal shorts. I've been buying SOXS as much as I can under 5. Lower the better. Oh, look at this. Look at this, Mo. I mean, if you step in front of this, be careful. I'd be curious to know if this is a 3-gap trap. 1, 2, 3. Just keep an eye on that. Intellectual property. I mean, here's another chip name that's just acting like crap. Oops. SMH obviously has a big weighting with some NVIDIA, but it's not confirming. Just be on red alert. Red alert. Adobe chopping at the highs. Apple, we talked about watching the 20-day today. Look at this thing. Doink. Again, I think you have references to short there. Amazon, good luck. I mean, it's tough. Now you have an inside day, so you go with, in my opinion. If you break those lows, you can go with the short. Meta, same kind of thing. Everyone's calling for 500. Now you have, look at these big blowouts. I mean, imagine who was buying and who was selling these days. Like, step back and go, smart money buying or smart money selling? Smart money buying, smart money selling. Just keep that in mind. Again, doesn't mean it can't go a little higher, or run on, but it's like, who's smart? Guys buying here or the guys buying the past? CRM, chopping around. I think they have earnings coming up. Guggenheim, smoked on earnings. Look at the 20-day. Look at where it's a reference. I think you've got it. Microsoft, this one's chopping on earnings. Got to give it credit. I mean, it's holding up really well. I don't know. There's easier trades. NDAQ, we said, any gift. Look at that. Look at that trap in the. You got to hold this like 55 area. It's cooked. MicroStrategy, again, Bitcoin's all over the place. We talked about it holding down here, trend. Said the 20-day and the gap fill. You got it. Now the trade could be dead money. Just be careful. Got to get over that 20-day. Netflix and chill. Looks like, here's you go. Here's a big gap up, and then it just goes a little higher. Watch it. Well, 575, in my opinion, is an easy short. Roblox with stops, right? Chopping. We talked about failing at 47. So far, so good. Tesla. Wow. I get a lot of questions about Tesla, and I just don't feel like we've bottomed because everybody's saying it's $1 trillion company. And it's like, when you're at the bottom, guys, gals, friends, like NVIDIA at the top, like just everyone's all in. And same thing at the lows. Like everyone's just like running from the exits, saying Elon's going to jail or this is the worst company ever. Give up on it. We're just not seeing that. And so again, I hesitant to think that, again, I don't know near term, it could need to work off some of this oversold condition. Maybe it's due for a bounce if you want to trade that. That's your preference. But man, this thing is just a donkey. I just don't think it has much of anything. Adobe, if you short in the 150s, looking good. Costco trying to break out, take out the, I don't know, yesterday's highs. I mean, it's a doji. Keep in mind, like these could be little inflection points, even if it's just near term. Starbucks, the global growth indicator, like proxy. Look at its earnings. Gap up, bleh, puked up. FedEx, we talked about. Global growth. Look at this. Uh-oh, lower lows. Caterpillar had earnings today. Look at this action. I mean, if that ain't a freaking top, I mean, again, it doesn't mean it can't retest. I always say this, like always be on the red alert for retest. But if that is in the top, I'll be very surprised. Nucor, we talked about people thinking it was going to break out and like don't trust it in this market. Look, gives it back. Watching the 8-day, I'd watch 180 as well. Letter X, we know, I told you it's not going to get bought out by Nippon Steel in my opinion, so I'd be watching the mid 40s. I think there's other bidders potentially, but if there's not, that would be interesting if all of a sudden the pool dried up. VALE, another global growth name, commodity name. Arrow, talked about it, hitting trend line, bouncing. Man, it seems to get, I don't know, it better hold 1430s. CCJ is just looking like a double top. Again, long-term uranium probably, but near-term oversold. Sorry, overbought, pulling back. CF, again, we like ag names, but I want to see them get pooped on. And when I say pooped on, I mean just let them get beaten. Like let them get down to prices that make no sense. This is what I mean like with Tesla. Like doesn't make sense. Why is everyone selling? Let it go. Look at AA. Look at that today. Oh, down $2. XLF, again, I think this is the easiest short in the history of shorts with a stop. With a stop, define your risk. We know banks are carrying all the debt of all the bombs going on. Here you go. Volume at the highs. JPMO, retesting, right? Double top. I mean, you have references. It's just like, will it fail? Like Morgan Stanley looks worse, right? Like, look at these. It gets no bounce. Bank of America, not much of a bounce today. Thought it might bounce a little more. Double top, fake breakout. Goldman Sachs, gotta hold 375. Just chopping, chop. KRE, as we've talked about, P aware. Look at this thing. Looks like crap. Hits the no doubt fail zone. Fails, right? No doubt fail zone. And then it's just not getting any love. XBI, this is another one needs to hold some levels. Watch this 86. But this was oversold. Comes back. Retest the highs. Keep an eye on it. Solar, this stuff has just been absolute trash. Be careful. Making new lows. Sedge. I mean, I said I think these names go back down to like serious low levels. You're welcome. If you got out of this stuff at the highs, you got, I mean, look at this. A chop, then kapow. ENPH. Look at this. Chop. Talked about failure. Talked about the double top. Again, I think some of these names have earnings, so just be careful. First Solar, look at this. Just said any gift to the 20-day. You got it. Could have traded that. It's a nice trade. HYG, again, I say you have to be higher than Chris Tucker and Friday to be buying corporate debt right now. Good luck with that. Watch that range lows. Let's get into oil because this is where it gets a little difficult. Again, I mean, I don't know near term about all the global stuff, but I just know that there is demand destruction. So, I mean, again, I like some of these names long term, but I'd be waiting to pull back. Like UNG, again, I don't think natural gas has that big of a downside, I said, but you got to layer in. Don't trust me at 100%. Trust your stops. I mean, I love the short up here. It makes sense on the KOLD. Look, this thing gets just absolutely destroyed in time. Decay. XOP, right? We talked about being, we had that short. Did really good up here. Said watch the 200-day. Man, it's just, you got a floor here at 127, 128. Again, I don't know if it's going to break, but worth watching. ExxonMobil. If I remember right, yeah, they've had earnings. Again, this is why these are tough. They're just really choppy and sloppy. CVE, choppy and sloppy. Valero, again, gas names are holding up a little better. Making higher highs off the lows, but MPC, watching this channel, I mean, will they break out? Oxy, I mean, going nowhere fast. No. All right, last but not least, EQT and Flex LNG. Again, I mean, everybody and their mom was trying to tell me EQT is going to break out over 44. Now you're making new lows. Like, let these names get pounded. There will be absolute gifts in Flex LNG. Last but not least, look at this. I love it. 8% dividend. Wait for it. Let them kill the stock. Let them break out these lows. Let it get down to 25, maybe 20. Oh, it just be a gift from the gods. All right, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Always here for you guys. As you know, anything you might need, use the Calendly link in the description details. Let me know if you need any help. Don't hesitate. If you have a question, also leave a comment below. I appreciate you guys. Have a wonderful afternoon. Talk to you soon.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.